So, every morning I have to get the bus because I have to take the bus to college and not the train. I'd much prefer the train, but the train station from my house is quite far away, so I do have to take the bus. There are many issues with taking the bus in the morning. You could be late because the bus doesn't turn up on time, or you could miss the bus completely. The bus is full, so you can't sit down anywhere. Or there's the very big issue of, well, it's not a big issue, it's just an awkward issue. You have to sit next to someone else on the bus that you don't know, and it's rather annoying. I used to get the bus to college really, really, really early in the morning, at least an hour before I had to be there on a Wednesday, and some other days because I was rather stupid. This is the reason because I used to get the bus so early is because when on a Wednesday, the time of like me going into college and my first lesson is at 9 o'clock, there's a sort of like crossover between like the people that go to the secondary school near my college. They all get on the bus at the same time that I would, and it's packed and you basically can't sit anywhere and you basically have to stand up for the whole entire journey, and it's horrible because it's at least a 45-minute journey, and that's not very nice when that happens. So to get around this issue, I obviously got the bus later in the day. I only just got used to get there really early for some reason. I don't actually know why. Now I literally take the bus on the correct time, and it usually gets me there in time. I've only not even been late, but like the bus didn't turn up on time, and then there was some massive traffic jam. It's unreal, and it just took forever to get through. And I ended up there like literally on the minute. Just got into college, and it was all good. But the teacher that I had that day is nice anyway, so it would have been fine. It's only if you're like, I don't know, 30 minutes late. I have actually been an hour's late to lesson because they changed the timetable and they said, oh, it's happening next week. So we were like, oh, it's all good. And then me and Jaden turned up like an hour late to lesson, and it was the teacher's like,
oh, you're 1 minute late. I'm writing you up, can.
and he's just really angry dude for some reason. Like, he'll either go at me like for no reason. I literally was waiting to skip an ad on a song that was playing on YouTube, and he was like,
You haven't even done any work. You should be off that.
and I drew everything. I had drawn everything that he asked me to, and he was like, oh, and then just walked off because I obviously defeated him, and he can, I don't know, fucking deal with my defeatation on him. Little bitch. So you're probably wondering why there's just a picture of the interior of a bus in the background. Well, I'm going to teach you how to bus, basically. You know, how to get your way with the bus. So my first issue with sitting on the bus is having seen some random person sit next to you. It's the most annoying thing. You're like, oh, I've got my space, I'm all good, and then it's just like some person's like, no, I'm sitting there now, and then you have to deal with them sitting next to you even though they don't say anything, and it's literally a minor inconvenience, but it's still sort of annoying, especially when you want to get off your bus and they're sitting in the way and they won't move. It's just like slap them across the head and you're like, I'm getting off the bus now whether you like it or not. The first way of getting around this is sitting here, because you're on the outside, or yeah, you're like, would you call it the inner or would you call it the outside? Well, I'm going to call it the outside because you sit closer to the gangway or path. Well, it's not even gangway. There's not loads of gangs in there like stabbing each other and selling drugs to everyone. No, it's just the way that you go to get your seat. Well, you're sitting there, so they can't really get to the seat that's next to you. And the best way to like make this a bit easier, so it doesn't look like you're just taking up that seat and blocking them off for no reason, is put your bag there, because it looks like, oh, you can't really sit there with your bag on, so you have to put it there, and you don't want anyone to steal your stuff, so you're sitting next to it, where it's the hardest place for someone to walk by and snatch your stuff, and it makes a bit more sense, and sometimes they're a bit more understandable, and they will find a seat next to someone else, but some people, they're like,
Can I sit there, please?
Another way to do this, but this can cause serious health issues, so I advise please don't do this just to get a seat to yourself on the bus, is be really fucking fat. And I'm being serious, like someone who takes up 2 seats when they sit down. Out, or they're just like wearing big clothing as well as like a massive coat, and they're also, well, not like massive as it needs to fit them. I mean, it is literally oversized on them as well. So it will take up the seat next to them. Because no one wants to sit next to them. Because there's not enough room to sit down. So I don't understand what their issue is with taking up 2 seats when someone could clearly sit there. You could, I don't know, sit at the back of the bus. I'm sorry, but sit at the back. Not like Rosa Parks, you know, that photo where it's like, oh, it's on Word and there's a picture of a bus and then it's like right click centre back. It's not like that. It's just they can take up as many seats as they need to there, rather than taking up the very 2 front row seats where old people like to sit, because it means they don't have to travel far to sit down and they don't have to go up any steps or, I don't know, risk hurting themselves when they're walking down the aisle and the bus is stopping. And it's so they sit there because it doesn't inconvenience anyone if they're quite slow getting off, because it will take a shorter amount of time from them going from the front to the door of the bus and getting off than from the back of the bus. So it's easier for them to do that rather than you sitting there and taking up your 2 seats, you fat fucker. Sorry to anyone that is actually fat and they I can't help it. I understand, sort of. No, I don't. I'm skinny, but it doesn't. Like, I'm the lankiest, skinniest person in the world. I don't understand why, but I just am. Obviously, sorry about that. And if it's an issue for you, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to take this out on you, but like, it's just sort of annoying to me. It's like, oh, cool, you get to take a free seat. I don't, because I'm less than 1 seat. Oh my god, I'm like half. Another way that is sort of easier to not having some random person that you don't know sit next to you is bring a friend, obviously. If you got someone that lives near you or they do the same thing on the same day as you and can take the same journey, obviously sit next to them, because otherwise it's just dumb. Or there's another option. Be really, like, tough, you know? Be like a proper roadman, you know? Like, so everyone's scared of you. They won't sit next to you because they're afraid of being stabbed because you're that tough looking. Obviously, no offense to any roadman. Please don't stab me. It's only a joke. You're pretty cool. You do cool stuff. Yeah. Please don't bully me. But yeah, you could be like really hard, and they wouldn't even come fucking near you. They would just leave. They would get off the bus. They're too terrified. No one would sit around you. Basically, yeah, that's a way to dodge people. Basically, or sometimes there's some of them buses that come with a single seat. That's a easy way to get a seat by yourself. And some the buses with the leather seats, for some reason, they have a sort of purple front on them, and then they go back to the normal colour. It's not the first buses, obviously, I'm talking about. I know, in a Arriva bus that does that. Sorry for the Snapchat. I'm very popular. No, I'm joking. That's one person that only ever talks to me like once in a blue moon, I guess. Is get on one of them seats because they're single seats. And a way to avoid yourself getting removed from a seat or having to switch seats or having to get up and there's like no seats left, don't sit on the first lot of seats, the one where it's to the side and they fold down, or the one where the disabled point is, just in case someone with a disability gets on and they do want to sit there, or someone with a pram will get on, and usually they take up them seats because they have to put the buggy there for the child, obviously. And the best way to do this is literally sit closer to the back, because when you're close to the back, one, you're in a cool part of the bus because all the cool kids sit there. You know that meme where it's like front of the bus, middle of the bus, back of the bus, and it's the one, and they edited it to remove the quiet kids, the normal kids, and then the cool and naughty kids. It just says, "This is so true. Front bus, back, middle bus, back bus." It's actually quite funny. It's quality meme, you know. Meme review. If you haven't subscribed to PewDiePie already, please do it, because T-Series is about to take over. They're obviously not. They're on like 69,100,000 and something thousand. Well, last time I checked, and he's on 70 million and basically on 71 almost already. Basically, he basically gains 1 million subs every 2 days, so it's a bit easier for him to stay in the lead. But yeah, that's literally all that I have to say about the bus. There's nothing else that I could say. I wanted to think of more, but I really can't for some reason. There was a lot I wanted to talk about because, you know, buses, you got to deal with them some way or another. I suppose actually a better way of actually, you know, when I said to bring a bag and then have them not sitting next to you, don't bring like a little Just Do It bag, because I have to do that because I have nothing in my bag, so I may as well just take that anyway. but it's a bit like obvious that it has nothing in it, and you may as well just bring a bigger bag basically and put that there and do it. But obviously, thanks for watching. I actually just did milk you to the 10-minute mark, even though I don't get any ad revenue because, you know, my channel is tiny. It's literally like 142 subscribers and I get average like 20 views. Please subscribe and like, and I'll see you a lot later, I guess.
Bye!